doing some work for Bliss now. Our partner in, not crime, but, she gave us the option to help her out, which I appreciate, but I wonder who's actually going to benefit from all this. Certainly this crew. I'm Seth on duty. And let's look into this. For a full system flush, Bliss has an idea. A full system flush with tracer fluid to reveal the leaks, which means an emergency venting of all tanks. Brilliant, but dangerous. Or tank recladding. Typically, the way to fix this kind of leak is to painstakingly inspect and reseal the entire ship's cladding. But is there time? So for sealing the tank leaks, the tanker's crew have detected a set of leaks, and they need to isolate and seal them as soon as possible. That's where you come in. I might actually not do this today. Let's not do this cycle. I only have 2 ones to go off of. That is not conducive to doing anything well. So, what I will do is just make some money, I think. Just by operating these in the spoke. That's fine with the negative outcome. And as you can see, we are starving. Like, we're not doing super good. I think the best way forward is to grab some food from Emphis, since it is fairly affordable. I'm just going to do it twice. There we go. Because he's our good friend. Let's go back to the hub. We'll repair our condition with a stabilizer. Whoops, that's not it. There's our pod. So inject the stabilizer, which should bring us all the way up. Very nice. End the cycle. But yeah, as I was mentioning last time, we gotta be pretty close to completion here. And if I'm not mistaken, this cycle we should be able to go see what Rico has for us. So this one is a critical action. We can do this once. Boom, +4 to sealing the leaks. You carefully trigger the emergency sequence and the tracer fluid does its job. All the leaks are revealed. Now you just need to seal them. So there was a bit of strategy to what I was doing there. Boom. Your careful and focused inspection is rewarded with the discovery of a set of leaks. You seal them up tight. Let's see if we can do it one more time. Oh yeah, no problem. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay, Bliss thumps you on the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared that contract no problem, she stretches. Once we are back in the bay, we can check if the payment has come through and divide it up. She stretches. Feels good. The airlock clunks and the lights flicker, and a moment later, you are back in the bay, where Moritz is at the racks, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should be hung. Hey, Moritz. Moritz looks over his shoulder. Sleeper. He spins a wrench in his hand. Looked like clean work out there. He nods respectfully. You look over at Bliss, who is already gliding over to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she was born into it. Shit! Bliss slams a fist into the console. Shit, shit, shit. What's up? I can't even. Bliss closes her eyes. Come here. Bliss calls you over. Look at this. Just look. She spins the terminal screen, and you see the details for the bay's account. You see an entry for the Ember's Wake, a repair fee paid in full in the moment you finished up the job, but then directly after, the whole amount was transferred back out into an unknown account. What the hell? This is the work of my ex. She punches the terminal. He must have coded a back door in the machine before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can... She pauses, thinking. Moritz, throw me a wrench. What's that for? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles. Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal, hard. You flinch backwards as a hail of computer parts spill up into the bay in a glittering arc. Fragments of the screen, memory sections of the casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit. Moritz drifts out from his hiding place amongst the racks. Bliss, he says tentatively, you want me to... He looks at the arc of fragments drifting around the bay nervously. Bliss shakes her head. No, she sighs. I've got it. You go get me a new terminal, cheapest you can find. Cobble one together from pieces at the ore exchange if you have to. Bliss. She looks over at you. I'm good now, I'm good. Bliss glides over to a panel by the wall. Don't worry, one of the first things I had installed when we spec'd out this place was a cleaning suite. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button, and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay wall. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris as they do in pulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. It's that or just space the whole bay every few cycles. What now? Bliss sighs. We keep at it. The cleaning suite buzzes and crackles as it works its way across the bay. That account wasn't anything. That account wasn't everything. I'm not that stupid. Once Morris gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the pile of the sweep. The clean brick. Then we could take another contract. That's it. She shuts off the sweep as it reaches near end of the bay. I'm in. You better be, Bliss laughs, because there's no way you're getting your investment back unless you are. She rubs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too. But next time won't be the same. Better not be. She looks away. See you in a few cycles. Moritz will let you know. She kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning up. Okay, so I was wrong. There's still a few things to be done in this game, and I am thoroughly happy there is. Let's go see. Oh no, it's still not done, hey? We have 3 more cycles until we get Gardener's Gift. The seed is planted, and Rico is an attentive mother to it. What adventure, what future is forming here? Also maybe an adventure. So we got our money. We could try and... let's just forage for some fungus. Please don't hurt me. Nice. We only need 2 Giroles. Come on, one more, please, please. Yes. Because now we can actually go up here and help them at the Climbing Briar. And so this is called episode Flux. It says Flux, Refuge, and Purge are now available. So we'll begin the episode, but be aware that it is intended for late gameplay, which I feel like we are at. So let's do it. Boom. Esh sees you coming up the broken spoke and waves you into the cavernous bay of the Climbing Briar. You came! Peak smiles as you walk into the Climbing Briar's cargo hold, behind a gloomy Esh. They brought mushrooms. Esh tosses the mushroom caps onto a crate, raising her eyebrows at Peak. Peak gives her a look. Thank you, Sleeper. They pick one up and sniff at it. Are these edible? Try it. Peak squints at you and the mushroom before delicately putting it back down. I'll wait. We're not so used to fresh produce. Ash is securing crates as she speaks and doesn't look up. Hawthorne doesn't have much in the way of farming. Hawthorne? The installation we grew up on. Ash wipes off her hands on a rag. XPR loves to name their property after natural things, but that's about as far as their relationship with plant life goes. XPR? Is this an interrogation? She glares. Either way, we are done with that place, which is all you need to know. Ash leans back against the crate she was securing. We're going to need more than a few mushrooms if you want to help these refugees, though. What do they need? Food, water, components, a whole lot of other things. Ash stands and walks over to the mushrooms you brought, placing them into a small container with care. The problem isn't just getting supplies, it's getting them through to the ships. Can't you just fly around? And get the Briar seized for breaching quarantine? No thanks, she laughs. We were lucky we got here before the cordon was set up. That's the only reason we are on this side. Are you both refugees? Peak looks at Ash, waiting for her lead, but Ash doesn't flinch. Something like that. Ash looks away. But this isn't about us. This is about them. Ash stares at you. Even calling them refugees is just a way of turning a lot of scared, desperate people into a single monolithic group. Ash slides a container full of mushrooms into one of the cargo's hold's racks. Look, as much as I'd like to chat, we've still got a lot of space to fill in this hold. So if you're going to help... I think Ash is trying to say we need your help and quickly, Peak says, glancing at her. Refugees behind the cordon, they won't be able to hold out indefinitely. We need to get supplies to them in the next 12 cycles or... Ash steps forward. Or Havenage will have to bear the responsibility for whatever happens next. I'll help if I can. Peak looks nervously at Ash. They were hoping for something more concrete. There's three things we still need to secure. Water, food, and scrap components for ship repairs. S gestures to the storage containers around the hold. Water, we can find a way to source, or, my preference, just siphon off from the underground reservoirs in the Greenway. Peak raises their eyebrows. She ignores them. For food, things could be tricky. Those mushrooms are delicious, I'm sure, but no way we can get enough volume to feed a flotilla. However, I saw an algae stack on the way over. If we can get access... Not more stealing, Ash, Peak sighs. I didn't say steal, she stares at them indignantly. If we can get access, we can work the stack, harvest some algae for the flotilla. Those stacks churn out vast quantities in short timelines. And the repair components? Peak asks tentatively. Ash smiles. Just look around you, Peak. This whole place is made of scrap. She shoots you a glance. And I'm sure the sleeper has their sources. They can bring them here. We got everything before time runs out. Perfect. We kept most of it. Also good. Either way, in 12 cycles, I'm going to take what we have and go. But how will you get through? Ash shoulders a container. I thought I'd leave that up to you, Peak. They flinch. Are you serious? Ash, I know we said we would help the flotilla, but at what point? They stop, take a breath. Take this seriously, Ash. I don't know the first thing about breaching a quarantine cordon. Maybe not, Ash looks at you. But they might. They slipped out from S&R facility, didn't they? Plus, they've been here longer than us. You were always trying to get me to find help. Well, here it is, she gestures at you. Help. Peak glances between the two of you. I swear to, they sigh. I need to think this one through. Meet me at the cordon in a couple of cycles, Sleeper. Maybe we can figure something out. Meanwhile, Ash meets your eye. You can help me acquire the supplies, discreetly, she smiles. We have to keep this quiet. Keep Havenage out of the loop. Once they get suspicious, this is over for all of us. This is all suddenly seems a little too real, too dangerous. You've only just found your feet on the eye. This is not a time for causing trouble. Come find us. We'll be out there trying to pull this all together. Ash goes to the back of the hold to start packing another container. Peak, come help me. Peak glances back at her. Sleeper, look. We didn't choose this either. They lower their voice. Help us finish this. We've set up a base camp on the broken spoke. You are welcome to rest there in any of the cots while we work on this. They smile. We are in this together. Peek, Ash shouts, and they walk back into the hold to help with the container. As you leave the climbing briar, you look out at the broken edge of the eye's ring, where Havanage's cordon blinks with tiny red lights. What are you getting yourself into? Hey, kinda cool. So we have a new home. But yeah, so Flotilla. Help Bliss compete. And yeah, very cool. Then we have to go here. So they want 8 scraps. And that's what we're starting with. I see. Well, I can probably buy some scraps with the money I have. So we can start there. The algae stack here. Negotiate access. The algae stack is controlled by a small collective of farmers. If you want to use it, you'll need to persuade them. Okay. And same with water, right? Reservoir S3. Oh, this is literally just doing it. You can siphon the water. Water for the flotilla, but it puts Havenage on alert. So success puts Havenage off alert. A failure would be putting them on alert. I see. So we have to manage these. Oh, okay. This is some pretty advanced stuff now. Very interesting. Well, it did say it was like late game gameplay. So 4 cycles for Bliss. 3 more cycles for the Greenway stuff to grow. And then just a whole lot of grinding. And I don't know what kind of mushrooms they want. Yeah, let's buy some scrap. There we go. There we go. So, no more scrap allowance. We are at... Oh, we got a ship mine fragment from that. Very interesting. And then if we go to the bright market or exchange, well, we don't want to sell the components. I see, yeah. So the only real place to buy it is there. Let's make some of our cryo back at least. Fair enough for me. Yeah, so we'll sleep here. Haifa. Come on. Hopefully we get all 5 dice rolls. I think so. Yeah. Not great though. So 2 more cycles for this. That's the next nearest thing. Let's see if we can get access. Actually, no. What they wanted first was scrap. Let's play the market. Ord exchange. Nope. Right here. So playing the exchange. Let's start with this. Oh. Right, this just gives you cryo. We're done with the scrap allowance. How else do I make scrap? Oh, right, I know how. You gotta risk it over here. Aha! The wastes. Let's give it a shot. Ooh, -1 energy. Oh no. Hold on. Want my energy back. Sunbathe. There we go. That was a good outcome. Oh, that just straight up hurt our condition. +1 scrap component. Whew, it's slow going. Let's end the cycle. There's gonna be a lot of grinding. Let's go at least 2 more cycles though. Try to get some of that scrap. Ooh, that's not great. Let us sunbathe so we don't screw ourselves for the future. Oh, what happened? As they leave, you find a note pinned on the outside of the door. It reads, "Sleeper, there's something you need to see. Meet me at the cordon as soon as you can. Just keep heading around the ring until you hit the flotilla. I'll be waiting." Peek. You pocket the note and glance around the corridor. Looks like you are doing this. Time to make a plan. Ah, the peek. Sleeper, Peek catches your attention from the shadowy corner they were leaning against. Any trouble getting here? No. Good to hear. Come, take a look at this. They beckon you over to a nearby window, which looks across the ruined ring to the blinking red lights of the Havenage cordon. The cordon's temporary structures, a net of metal struts meant to detect and dissuade any ships from entering or leaving the flotilla, shut out into the black. And all around, the tugs split, securing them in place and tending to the red blinking drones that demark the quarantine. It's an impressive and worrying sight. What do you think? Peek interrupts your thoughts. How would you get through? One of the tugs. As an escort, you mean? I doubt we could fit all the supplies on one of the tugs, but if it seemed like the Briar was being officially escorted through the cordon, Peek squints at the red lights. But then we'd be stuck inside. Peek turns away from the window and rubs their forehead. Esh really has wrapped us up in something here, hasn't she? The question is spoken under their breath, and they don't seem to expect an answer. The silence grows. Are there other options? If you've got them, I'm happy to hear them, Peek smiles. The way I see it, there are 3 parts to making it through the cordon. They gesture out the window at the strange structure. Deception, distraction, and speed. We'll need all of them for a clean passage through. Deception means tricking the cordon security into thinking that we are meant to be there. Maybe a tug escort would work. Anything that makes the Briar look official. Distraction, meanwhile, will be all about diverting attention so that no one looks too hard at what the Briar is doing. If we can create a gap in the cordon's scanning and deterrent systems, that should keep them busy. Finally, speed will mean making sure the Briar is ready to roll. Perhaps we can do a little work on the ship to get her ready. Esh surely wouldn't mind. They lean back from the window. How does that sound? Sounds good. Good to hear. Peek grins. Peek looks down at their slate. 10 cycles left. They glance at the window at the cordon nervously. 10 cycles to gather the supplies and to prep this plan. It's tight. Very tight. Peek looks at you. If this goes wrong, Peek sighs. Just get out, okay? They squeeze your shoulder. I'll follow Esh anywhere. But you don't need to get dragged down with us. Okay. Good. Peek brightens a little. I don't need any more guilt than I already have. Let's get to it, Peek stretches. I'll tell Esh about the improvements to the Briar, and the rest, let's explore the cordon as best we can and look for openings. I have no idea what guardian angel sent you to us, Sleeper, Peek smiles, but I'm very glad they did. Aha, we have a plan. So the cordon. Flotilla aid. Breaking quarantine. This is the one. Peek will need you to scope out and execute a safe path through the cordon for Esh. So we have that. I did want to see what was going on. Oh no, one more day there. And we're only at half of our scrap components. But we can do a 6 here. Boom, like this. Intercept the comms. We're just gonna hack everything right now. Blend in with the crew. And one more cycle will be good for us. But yeah, we're at 4. They need 8. Yeah, clock is ticking. Let's go to sleep. I'm very tempted to just restabilize ourselves so we always have 5 rolls in a day. I think that's honestly the play right now. Screw it. We have it. Let's do it. All or nothing. End the cycle. And then get back up. There we go. Let's see what is happening here. At Rico's lab. Rico has something in her hands when you enter the lab. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human head, consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched, woven network at the other. As you approach, she holds it up, and in the lights of the labs, it looks like a crown. Rico finishes your thought. She smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. Really? You can see it as well as I. Rico looks past the twist of stems at you. And that is what it appears to be. She points to a lump on the edge of the ring. The seed grew right back into itself, twisting up out of the soil. That being you encountered, in the cloud, as you called it, was it wearing one of these? She eyes you suspiciously, still unsure if she is somehow embroiled in an overlong prank. No. She sighs. I suppose that would be too easy. She smiled to herself. A root crown. She places the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit up by its amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant, anyway. Not from what I can tell. She gives you a nervous look. No leaves, no chloroplasts, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. So how did it grow? It seems the seed contained everything it needed. A self-contained entity, nothing less. She beckons you over. But that isn't the good part. Look at this. You see a cross-section scan of the crown, its layers of plant-like structure on full view until you reach the center. There, instead of a xylem and phloem for transporting nutrients, something branched and woven glints. Metal? Wires? Metal? In part, yes. They seem to contain metal, perhaps absorbed from the station itself. She leans closer to the screen. But you see those branches? They remind me of dendrites, of neurons. She rubs her eyes, which is frankly ridiculous. You look back at the crown on the table as Rico fuses over the scans, and you suddenly realize what it reminds you of. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. Then you remember the crown they fitted you with, the branching structure of wires and pads. No, not a crown. They called it an interface. A tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons. And that is your gift from the gardener. You return back to Rico. Rico looks at you, puzzled. Something clicks in your mind. Perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she had helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking, partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, then this too could be made for you, for your frame. She shuffles over quickly to the interface, a word that is stuck to this strange branch object quickly in your mind. You are right. That entity, it is the entity I have been looking for. She shuffles quickly to the crown. They are the entity which is controlling the Greenway, which has been maintaining it. supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. She stops to catch her breath. They want to talk to you. Rico leads you to a seat. I will be here, sleeper. If something happens, if you wish me to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. She grips your hand tightly. You meet her eyes, clouded with age, but bright with the thrill of new discoveries. Then she places the interface on your head, and everything blinks out. Back into the river, back into the dark flow, but something is different now. You are no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the storm. Instead, it flows around you. You move, and it parts, letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and see your body. You have left it behind. Somewhere, Rico's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It is excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realize how long she has been waiting for this moment, for the moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector, and yet she is still on the outside. You shake off the sadness. You will be her eyes. Then you see the figure, gardener, out in the storm, planting. It takes less than a moment to reach them. You have never felt so free. This is how Navigator must have felt, released from their prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in the place you were built to inhabit. Gardener does not turn at your approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Their speechless hiss around you. Good. I am glad. I wanted to meet you. Then we are the same, both eager shoots seeking one another. How does it feel to be free of your seed? They stoop to plant again. My seed? That in which you were contained, from which you will grow. There was some disagreement, continues the gardener, as if you were picking up on a long-held conversation. With others, they felt you were a danger, but they are always cautious, especially the fungi. They like old loam, known knowns, wide and stable networks. The fungi were cautious. Mostly, yes, although there are many among their numbers who favor short growth cycles, thick nutrient veins, and sudden shifts. He gestures out in the storm, and though you cannot see them, you feel presences all around, sensing this audience with great interest. After all, they understood that it was I who had made them their crowns, and without them they would not have joined the chorus. So, they see that it is only fair that you get your chance to join too. Join? Yes, become part of this. Gardener stoops again. We are millions, and we grow. I hope you understand. I am unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was the chief executive Trellick himself. You look around and you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is there. They are networked, connected, branched, and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. The impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI, a living network. You could dissolve here, you realize, free of that decaying body. You wouldn't need to be a person. Why would you, among all these other minds? You turn away from Gardner for a moment and look back at your body. A tiny, hairline thread connects it to you. You hear Rico's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are they saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs, a long sigh. A sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness. An exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, of answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh, a yearning, a sense of distance, a desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complexity, to make a gesture that says, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm with you. The two ideas spin within you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you will be free, free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. If you follow it, if you squeeze Rico's hand, you will wake up, back in the dying body, with all the pain and warmth that entails. Now is the moment to choose. Here we go, everybody. This seems like one ending to the game, and I am going to follow through with it because I'm interested in seeing where this actually goes. Give our sleepers some peace. If you wanted me to continue this game, let me know in the comments. I can revisit it another time. Let's see where this goes. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark back to your body. Wait. This choice, you realize, will not be presented again. Reconsider. Follow the thread. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark. So yeah, follow it. You don't look back at Gardner. You don't dare risk it. Oh, wait. No. I wanted to break it. Hold on. Hey. I wanted to break it. I clicked the wrong thing. I didn't realize following the thread was going back to the body. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, my mistake. So, let's cut through. Is that... yeah, that's what grew. That's what I said. No. And I said how'd it grow. And then I said metal. And then I said it's an interface. Yeah, you get why I'm doing this, right? This game has been fantastic. But I can only talk. I can only narrate for so long. My seed, I said. And then I said the fungi were cautious. Joined. Yeah, I feel bad. Rico could have totally had all the answers she was looking for. And I have this chance. We all yearn for this opportunity. Break the thread. You reach down and pinch the thread. The finality of this moment descends on you. Break it. You pluck the thread like a string. It snaps. Nothing changes. You stand at a point of stillness. No, you don't stand. You have no legs, no body. You are a point of stillness, a point in the flow. Your mind fizzes. 1,000 new shoots break through the soil. They entwine with you, embrace you. Some part of you decays, while something else feeds from that decay. The spores of your new thoughts float away in shifting clouds and settle in new soil. Then you see Gardner out there, still planting, and they stop. like an old man resting in the fields, and they turn to face you, and you join the chorus, and together you sing the song of growing things. Ah, amazing. So, a little funny in my mix up of my decision, but you all knew my intent. You saw what I was trying to do. And it's not because I'm rushing to the end. This game has played its part on my channel. I feel I've gotten more comfortable in narrating and being more in tune with my feelings. And the game itself is just beautiful. It has the weight of choices, which is the theme of my channel. It's the theme of my life. So, thank you to everybody who watched. Everyone that left a little like and a little comment and subscribed. You are seen. You are heard. You are valued. And there we go. A full cycle. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Seth on duty, signing off.